Yo, D to the M, and okay, this is Morbius. I did this about a year ago, and around this time of the year, it's that time of year, of course, um, break out the horror movies and have the Halloween costume parties and the ghosts and goblins, and of course, uh, the climax of the whole, from Devil's Night to Day of the Dead, um, all this ritual is interesting. But yeah, so this is Morbius. I did, like I said, a year ago, and I'm gonna do a little process explanation if I can. It is a time-lapse video, so let's start it out and go from there. As you can see, I'm sketching out character studies for. I'm working with real quick reference. When you work with reference, you'll notice you're not finding um, the character sketch or study. You're drawing from reference, so it's kind of easy. So in this case, I drew from um, movie photos from the movie, little movie excerpts that were going on at the time. So you pause it and you try to grab quickly a sketch from the video you're watching. I use YouTube, and you should too. Uh, Public service announcement there. So here we go, and we're working it out, and I'm flipping through different sketches that I've done. I decided I'm going to use this one. Now this one right here, this figure that we see here in front is, and you can see I'm feeling it out in the back. All of these are from imagination, so this is the difference between using reference and feeling something out. I, yeah, so to move further on real quick, I'm working out the hands, and it's real fast. Now I'm trying to figure out the placement. I wanted to draw three parts of them, right? So I needed to draw um, his sickly side, right, which is the true him, really, and then his heroic side and his most evil side, or most hungry, I guess you would say, side of his character. And then, actually, if you ask me, the most hungry side would be the one that's sickly. He's the one that needs the most nutrients. But I guess the strange. I can't even remember what it is. It's some weird magic mixed with chemistry, some alchemy, I guess. So I'm trying to figure out how to draw the character. I decide, like really quick, as you noticed there, I couldn't figure it out. All right, now I'm going to talk about this because it's important. As you can see, the drawing, um, there's fade. You can't really see it that well, but there's faded ghost lines. Is what I call them, ghost lines. And ghost lines, if you're a eraser that can't pick up your ghost lines, maybe like I am, sometimes I'm heavy-handed with my pencil, even though I don't need to be. And the reason why is because um, when you're heavy-handed with your pencil, you're almost forced uh, to confidently choose the line from point A to point B when you draw it straight across. And unfortunately, I choose the wrong line many times, so I get a blur. I call them ghost lines. So therefore, I have to take a new piece of paper and redraw that image so I'm not interfered with the ghost lines, and I can get the correct line, as you can see here, very simply. You know, no trace, no nothing. It's just feeling it out, and I'm not trying to necessarily go for a likeness. A likeness doesn't hurt. Of um the oh my god, the guy who plays him in the movie. I should know this. My sister would know this. She loves that guy, anyways. But it doesn't hurt, right? And I did actually try to catch a likeness, but not necessarily a spot on. Just something, appealing, look like him. And I went full monster with his dark side. Like this, he. Okay, so I'm finishing up, and the one of the portraits here, the sickly portrait, because he was sickly. Guy had weird blood disease and what have you. He was still, emaciated, uh, bony, and had crutches, just not in a good way. Probably was tired all the time, man. I know how that feels, man. So I'm actually quite healthy, so. But yeah, this dude was probably having it real bad, and it kind of helps that. So here I am using the Sharpie. It's not necessarily it's not a commissioned piece. So it was just, what do I have? I got some paper and I got some pens. I'm using ballpoint pen and Sharpie for this. Um, your tools shouldn't stop you from trying to produce something. And if you're going to produce something, you may as well go all the way, even if it's just for a goof. Maybe it's that time of year. So there, I've already drawn. Let me stop that right there. I went pretty quickly. I've already drawn him once, okay, with the crutches, so it's a little easier for me to just, through memory, like just outline it out based on the reference that I already drew. And I don't base the reference on the image that I used, like the photograph I used. I end up using the drawing for reference, so that actually pulls it away further from the original photographic image. And I think that's a smart thing to do. It works for me. But yeah, you can see here real quick, right there, bam. I just pulled that basically out of the hat. So uh, it's good, and your memory only works this way if you do it immediately after you've already sketched it. It's kind of a rubber band. Don't do it tomorrow. Now it is good. It is good to sit things down, look at it a day later, and yeah, you'll definitely, hell, 2 hours later, right? And you'll definitely see. I don't want to call them mistakes. I want to call them. I don't even want to call them bad decisions. The same thing, but it's like you could actually you see what you could make better, I guess. So it's not that the original image is terrible. It's just that it's not as good as it could be, or maybe it was better the first time, and you shouldn't have made any changes. Who knows? But it all depends on the thing. So on the illustration and period in time. So we have a young Morbius here, right? And then we have the right now I'm inking with ballpoint, penciling out because my confidence hasn't figured out like immediately. But my confidence has went far enough to ink the outline. So you have to. Now I'm drawing the hands, drawing his bat wings, drawing a couple bats here and there. Some Mike Mignola. Shout out to Mike Mignola. Okay, after drawing him in shorthand. Okay, after drawing this character so many times, now I can test my shorthand on what I've learned. Right? Using a very fine pencil for that. The nose. Right? He's a bat or a vampire. It's a little bit more distinct. Flying. The reference for him flying is really pretty blurry and pretty small, so I have to go ahead and embellish, right? Okay. One thing's for sure, he does have his mustache and beard working here, so. I don't know if you can make it out. It's pretty simple. It's just a gestural stick figure. His head, his arm, elbow bends back here, his hand, other hand here, his foot back here, and his other foot here. Now in this scene, he's wearing a jumpsuit, a correctional institution jumpsuit. Right. It's hard to see how his hair is flapping in the wind, so you have to kind of make up some kind of jazz. It's just fun. Comic book artists for years like me, you kind of get the gist of making shit up, so. I'm never gonna, thank you, I've never had to wear one of these orange jumpsuits. Alright, now we're gonna go back into the simple shapes, right? Primitive shapes, just to show you how this works. And his chest goes here. Sure, got a white shirt on. Alright, now remember I said how instead of I'm gonna draw the arm and then draw the hand. Now draw the hand first. Make sure you have the hand placement somewhere. Then just draw your arm to attach to it. That's, to me, the tip is a simple method too. I'm gonna go ahead and draw his hand a little bit more. Seems to have his arms more spread out than I've seen. No, I have mine up here. Actually, I like the way that hand is, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Alright, the hand the way it is. Draw this hand. Okay. My hand can use a little work, but in the meantime, I'll just. Alright, now the shoulder is going to be here. On the ball joint shoulders. And there's a ball joint elbow. Alright. And the tubes. Alright. Now the tubes. Tell me, this is a fail-safe way to draw your figures. Really saves a lot of time. And buys a lot of time, actually. But, yeah. Let's get his hair to do something fancy. Okay, now here, it's a short sleeve jumpsuit, right? And it has a white shirt underneath. Right. Okay. There's a shoe. And leg. Alright, let's draw that. His hips will be here. Always, especially when you're drawing for imagination, use your primitive forms. Your primitive shapes are there to make sure that what you're drawing is a correct representation of what you're actually trying to draw. And if you're trying to draw the human figure, then they may have it read correctly, like, oh, this man looks, okay, he looks like, you see, now I actually start speeding up here, slow it down. I'm trying to get some, right now I'm trying to figure out the shadowing, and I definitely have Mike Mignola in mind. Mignola, I think it's Mignola. Alright, so yeah, let's continue here. And I'm looking for the shadows in the dark. The darks in, oh, there's a repeat, I guess. And I think I start talking somewhere along here. No, I guess not. Then I start going in with the Sharpie. And I'm getting the, I'm spotting all the blacks. That's the term we call for spotting the black areas, all the dark areas, and in, when you're inking. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get I know it should be a lot faster. I should have used a brush, but at the time I didn't have one. So, like I said, just pull out whatever you got and make something happen. You never know. I mean, this uh, work right here didn't take much time. Maybe a day, or, nah, maybe 2 days. And if you're filming yourself, it's even more difficult because, well, you would know if you're filming yourself. If your camera's in your way and you can't get the best. Right here, I'm doing a spot on right ahead, so my head had to be right next to it or aside. And once in a while, you have to make sure that you're um, looking at it as if it's up against the wall, like parallel, so that way you can see anything you might have drawn askew. Because if you're drawing it at an angle, you're getting an askew view. So let's see here. We're starting to get on it. You can see my inks. I've gotten a lot darker. Um, Not necessarily absolutely Mignola, but I'm just saying that I had him in mind. All right, and I'm drawing him down here in the subway tunnel, flying really fast. And this right here is the hard part. And I'm gonna encourage anyone who loves to draw, first of all, and loves to the best they can, do the best they can with every illustration. I want to encourage you to really do, like, I could have drawn some like basic CSX railroad tracks down here, but nah. What I do, I went looked at the subway station and I saw how the tracks were laid, and I encourage everyone to do that because just like I encourage you to like take a T-shirt, preferably a long sleeve T-shirt, maybe a turtleneck T-shirt, cut it, cut wherever the seam is, right, and then sew that motherfucker back together. That way you'll know how a shirt, or even a regular shirt, any shirt, you'll realize why it lays the way it does on a human body, why the wrinkles are specifically. I encourage you to do that exercise, and I don't know, give me some feedback. Let me know. Oh, that was bullshit. I ruined the shirt because well, I didn't say to use your best shirt, right? Use somebody else's if you have to, but it's worth a go, right? An old pair of shoes, chop them up, put them back together. Believe me, you will have no problem drawing shoes um, whatsoever. I'll play it. So yeah, take time. I'm going on a rant, but yeah, if you want to learn how to draw a particular thing, believe me, that exercise works. Drawing these railroad tracks like that, specifically, because there's a stickler out there, right? Oh, that's not what New York Subway Railroad looks like. Well, guess what? It does, because I drew exactly that. And maybe that dude will give me props for it. Maybe he won't, because yeah, he should have done it. I should have done it like that in the first place, right? So yeah, I encourage you to go as far as you can, and that's to the moon, to the stars, right? So just yeah, whatever you got, pencils, you got Sharpies, ballpoint pens. See, I guarantee you, even if I had a blue ballpoint pen, I would have still made the attempt to draw something, even with a black Sharpie and a blue ballpoint pen. Like you see these clouds here, they're really billowy, they're really thick, you can't even see the building behind it. You can see how simplified I drew the buildings. After this, I put it in the Photoshop, colored it, and I'll check that out real quick. Right there, so there's the color. We're gonna zoom in out and just see. You can see I chose, that EC type comics type pea soup, uh, and those violets and those blues. And as you can see here, I changed the sickly portrait of Morbius up on the left hand side, but I decided to put him down here. It almost appears as if he's being cloaked by the evil part. Um, I don't know, it just was a last minute decision. There's the bottom part where he's flying ahead of the subway car, the A. Now, I'm trying to think. My memory serves me. The A, I think that's a Manhattan car. It goes straight, like up and down. The Harlem, Grand Concourse, maybe Bronx. But yeah. So there's the piece, finished, and yeah, just had to do something. I was itching, so I decided, I'm gonna do a traditional comic book style illustration, pencil ink, and then I scanned it in the Photoshop and put some colors on it. Now, my color process is very simple. I use a straight, round pencil brush. I vary the size. According to what kind of stroke I need. Um, and once in a while, I use the airbrush. Now, the airbrush tool is not something I go any smaller than 300. I use it just for a simple gradation on top of the cell coloring style, which is just a blunt. And sometimes I'll use the lasso tool just to select certain areas, either pull out color or to add color. Yeah, I'll make a more in-depth video about that once I get a chance. Maybe a live stream. I don't know.